I could save the bits. I could.
Welcome to episode 32 of Keep Calm and Pea Glitter. And you might notice there's a slight change to the tone in my voice as I introduce this session. Because we've just been having a conversation about my eyebrows, right? Because I don't actually really have any. I struggle to draw them on because there's nothing for the dust off the thing to stick to. So, and then Nerissa's just been saying to me how she has to have hairs thinned and shaped because she's got so many. So
But I was about to offer. I could save my extras, and you could have them if you want. Because let's be fair, like yours just end, don't they? They start in the middle and then just end.
they really do. It's like there, and then there's like 5 little hairs that I have to. So Elf do a really good eyebrow mascara, but it's got these little fibers in, so it actually builds it up. They must know there's people like me out there.
Are you not tempted to like use it on your nose or something for a laugh?
You saying I've got a hairy nose?
Well, you would have if you used that, wouldn't you?
Oh, I get what you mean. I was going to say I sorted my nose out the other day. I was like, the light caught me, and there was fucking more hair up my nose than there was on my eyebrows. I was like, what the fuck?
It's because you're nearly hitting your mid-40s now. That's what it is.
No, on Friday I'm 45. Does that mean I'll grow eyebrows?
Maybe. Yeah. Well, you're just going to get hair in more unwanted places, I would say.
I think I'm going to try and manifest hairy eyebrows. Every night before I go to sleep, I'm going to say, thank you for my hairy eyebrows. And then in the morning, I'll be like, looking in the mirror, going, has it happened yet? How about now?
I can't wait. I can't wait. And then I'll meet up with you and you'll have these like big bushes
I'll look
coming
like
out of your
Bert.
eyes. Like, I'll be like, shit, what the hell's happened to you, Nick?
I feel like Bert off Sesame Street.
I'll be there with the scissors. You look like Jeremy Clarkson.
Oh, it's just like none.
Oh, anyway, for anyone listening to this, like we could talk about your eyebrows all day, couldn't we?
It's even better now.
Just
Anyway,
lifting her eyebrows up.
and something I always say to Daisy when I look at her beautiful little face, and it's like a little perfect circle, and I'm just like, oh, your tiny little head, and I just cup it in my hand, and I go, you have the best eyebrows. I'm so happy you got your dad's eyebrows.
Oh, bless her.
And not mine, and his dimples. She goes, you've got dimples. I'm like, no, they're just lines. They're not dimples.
See, if I cup Josh's face, he tells me to get off and he's like side eyes me as if to say, what are you doing? Back away, mother. I'm like, okay, fine.
Stop touching my face. Can I just be very clear though? I'm not shaming myself. I'm just taking the piss.
Oh no, we don't shame. There's no shame here. We are just taking the piss.
There's no shame of having no eyebrows.
No, you're proud of your bald eyebrows, aren't you?
Fuck off. Anyway,
Anyway,
talk today about, we were going to call this episode, we might change the name now, Change and Twitchy Bums, because we haven't been very consistent with our podcasts
no.
over the last few weeks because there's been so much shifts, shit, change, fucking all sorts has been going on, hasn't it? And then we were like, do you know what? We really need to get back to doing these because we love them.
A lot's happened. A lot's happened, like for both of us, though, hasn't it, over the last few weeks? And like you always say, Nick, like everything happens for a reason. And actually, all the things that happen then may change the way that you go. Mic drop. Poof.
It was a squirrel's tail, actually.
Oh, was it? Of course it was.
One of my eyebrows.
She's using a squirrel's tail as an eyebrow, and it's bright ginger. Oh, it's now a monobrow. Woo! It's on her nose. Okay, yeah. So a lot's been happening, hasn't it, Nick?
Yeah.
You can't take you seriously with that on your nose. You're just gonna stick it up your nose in a minute, aren't you?
What's that thing called off Inside Out? The thing they find in the basement, and it's got a nose like that.
Oh, yeah, the thing that yeah. Oh,
So like
it's
an
like an
imaginary
elephant,
friend.
isn't he?
Yeah, it's sorry. Anyway, squirrel.
Squirrel. Well, talking of squirrels, something quite significant happened, didn't it, at the weekend for you?
What was that? What happened?
Let me think.
Oh,
Well, I drove an hour and a half up to Northwich and watched a squirrel on a TEDx stage.
wow. Just wow. Was that amazing or what?
Was it was amazing. It was amazing. And I think, oh, wow, what you were talking about was even more amazing. And that's part of like this whole like change and tweet, change and twitchy bum. I can't
Tweaky
say it.
bum. A tweaky
Twitchy
bum.
bum. Change and twitchy bums. Is that though, isn't it? Because actually, that process and you ending up on that stage has changed your perspective over what you're here to do.
Oh, massively. And it was the hardest thing I've ever done. Um, it really showed me parts of myself. Like I did it because I knew it'd be a challenge because when they were like, we know you've got ADHD, how are you going to be managing a script? And I was like, fine, because I always do what I say I'm going to do. So there'll be, and I sort of want the challenge, but fuck me, didn't realize like how hard it was going to be.
Yeah.
Um, and also how boring it felt. Excuse me, I've got a bubble in my throat.
Boring. Yeah.
To learn a script, although it was my story, and if I'd have been free to talk about it, so I had to make it exciting, and I could not have done that without you holding space for me, even though I had a camel on my head. And there's a
She
picture
did.
soon.
She did.
I was so bored. I was like, oh, I wonder if this camel will bounce on my head. Found a tiny camel that had fell off a key ring, and she was going, look, we need to focus. And I was like, okay, I'm going to do it with the camel on my head. She's like, no, look, you need to focus. It's all about repetition. Say it again. Say that bit again. Go back. You like fluffed that bit. Say it again. Does that word feel right? Minute. And by the end of it, I just knew it and I felt it. And but the lead up to that was very bumpy, and a lot of things happened that really showed me how unseen sometimes people with neurodiversity or ADHD can be, although I was supported. Um, it was my way of coping was very different than what the rules were, and I completely understand why I had to be at certain points of where they wanted me to be so that they could make sure that I was going to be ready for the time. But for me, what it actually showed was how fucking powerful my coping mechanisms are, because I literally stepped into my future self. I embodied the woman who knew her script, who was there to make an impact, and just fell into the fierceness and the determination and all of that, instead of my like inner bitch, you can't do this, this is boring as fuck, this is too horrible. But it's like I needed to remember it wasn't about me. And the night of the talk, everyone was excited, and we'd done the dress rehearsal and we'd done the thing on the stage in the morning and everything like that, and everyone was squealing and getting excited, and I couldn't let myself go there, because if I opened the box for my dopamine and my squirrels to come out, I wouldn't have got them back in. And I literally had to keep pulling them one by one back into the box, using my breath work. I was saying to you before, wasn't I, about how to explain breath work? Like breathing in and sucking all the squirrels back. And then as you breathe out, they all drop into the box in your head and you put the lid on. And that was exactly what I was visualizing on Saturday. It was just the grounding, and then I was anchoring myself in using my finger and my thumb, just pressing them together, but setting the intention of being grounded. And just that whole bigger purpose, like it's not about me. And obviously I had to learn it, which I couldn't have done without you. But once it was done, it really showed me the tools that I could take forward to help other people, because the amount of people who have got amazing stories, and this is what was said to me after the the event, such and such has got an amazing story, but they've always said, I couldn't do that, I couldn't learn a script, such
Yeah.
and such said this, I could, but what if I could help them?
Well, what I was about to say was if you're listening to this and you're thinking, bloody hell, I'd love to do like a TED talk, TEDx talk. But if it involves that much of learning a script, and it is like word for word pretty much, isn't it? You've got to
Yeah.
memorize like between 12 and 18 minutes. I think it's less than 18 minutes you have to have, isn't
Between
it?
6 and 18 minutes, the talk,
Wow.
TEDx talks, but they obviously try and get them lower, as low as
Yeah.
possible, because it's a long time to talk for
It
18.
is a long time to talk and to memorize that word for word for word. And, I think I mean, all I did was I know you very well, so I understand your method of learning.
Yeah.
And I knew on Thursday night, obviously, you were quite kind of, oh God, I don't know it, how am I going to do this? And the overwhelm was kicking in naturally, of course. And I knew Friday was going to be your day. So we did 5 hours, didn't we, Nick?
You did, babe, yeah.
Yeah, 5 hours. It was very pleasurable. I had a lot of cups of tea.
Not all at the same time. We had
No, no, we did split it up a little bit. I let you go and eat, didn't I, for a bit?
I was like, I can't do any more. We've done 2.5 hours. And she was like, right, want you back in half an hour? I was like, no.
I was like, fine, an hour and a half later, boundary pusher.
This,
But then it started to click, didn't it? You felt really good about it, and I think knowing that you need to do that, and I said to you at the time, I knew it was always going to be the day before for you.
I did.
And I think once we got on the call in the morning, I had this grand illusion that I'd sit and listen to it whilst I was doing some work. And then I soon realised that you were kind of like flipping it. I was like, put the work down, Nerissa. Let's do this. It was like mission, get Nikki ready for the TEDx talk.
But for me, it was always going to be the days before, because I knew what I had coming up. And also, that's how I work. I
I
can't,
know that.
and I think that's I mean, I've got a client who identifies with having ADHD, and we were having a conversation this morning about it. And she was like, I just struggle to plan that far ahead, because when I get there, the things that I've planned I don't want to do. And I was like, oh my God. And I've just had something similar with me, like planned something massive in the middle of the year to start. I've been building up to it. I've got 3 people said yes. It's come to it now. And the only reason I would be doing it is to make money, and that's not right
No,
at all. And
no.
it doesn't, I couldn't even do that, because if my energy is not behind something, like money doesn't motivate me. It does a little bit, but it's not my primary motivator. I need to be fucking peeing glitter over something. And that's where my magnetism comes in, and the energy. So even trying to fill the spaces for this thing, I wouldn't have been able to do it. I would have done it, because I'd have put my mind to it. But this,
And this, for anyone listening, right, this is a squirrel, so this is a completely different thing that Nikki was planning on doing.
yeah,
That
yeah.
now she's not.
It was just giving the example of how it's so, like, we're allowed to pivot and change, and we
Yeah,
go with our energy, especially for anyone who's familiar with human design and is a manifesting generator. Like, we're not here to complete the things. We might think we want to do certain things, and we do like the structure because the clarity creates calm and all of that. But ultimately, when we get to the things, we've evolved so much because of all the new stuff that we've done and pivoted and created, that when we get to the thing, we go, I want to do that now.
yeah.
I'm going over there. And everyone's like, what? And you're like, yeah, bye.
See ya.
Off.
Yep, yep. That's exactly it. But this is something that all those years ago when I got into the online space, people said to me, whatever you do, it's got to be something that lights you up. And it'll always be something where you're helping a previous version of yourself. And I wrote a post on it this morning. It's not actually easy to find that, but sometimes you've got to complete your journey and do the hard things and do the things that push you out your comfort zone to actually realize, oh my God, I've got through that. So with you, Nick, for example, you've just done this TED talk and now you're realizing you could help other people to do something like that who've got ADHD
And schools and small
and
humans,
schools. Yeah.
and the teachers, like the teachers who are, I mean, they don't get trained on that type of stuff. But imagine if you were able to look at your kids with more, what's what's the word? Like knowing that each of them is unique and that they're all going to be different, and allowing them to like have their own quirks and to embrace their uniqueness and each other's. That's part of the fucking script, isn't it? It's like it just keeps falling off.
Yes, it is. Yeah, yeah, it is part of the script. Yeah, just keeps coming out. I'm doing the same, to be honest.
Comes out of my mouth. I'm like, I'm sure I've said that before.
Yeah, you're right. Deja
But
vu.
it's so true though, isn't it? It's every part of it. And then, high performers who put put themselves off from doing the things that they don't think they can do because they're not regulated enough to be calm enough to move through it. And if I hadn't have had the accountability and the tools, like I had a headache at one point on Saturday because I was fucking over oiled. It's just, and everyone was asking me for oil, so I was oiling everybody else up, and this does this and this does that, and let's just breathe and move it. But those are the things, and they're so simple and they're so easy, and that's what I want to go in and show, is that it gets to be easy, but
Yeah,
we've got to, and human design falls into part of this as well, just seeing who you are. So my client this morning was a Manny Jan who identifies with having ADHD, and we talked about the things that I'd been going through, and she was just nodding, and I even showed her the storyboard that I'd done for learning me script. So we're probably going to share this video now we've figured out how to do it properly, but if you're listening, there's a picture, and it's, for example, one of the lines from the script was a positive diagnosis, and I've got a pregnancy test with ADHD written on in 2 positive lines, but in my head that was how I remembered that part of the script. So each little bit, new ways to manage me bonkers brain. It's got a brain with like a little bonkers face on, was a bottle of vodka and a weekend of clubbing, but that made my stress and anxiety levels even worse. And what goes up must come
must
down,
come
like
down.
a hot air balloon. So that's helped me, and I showed her that this morning. She was like, oh my God, I'm gonna try that, because she was struggling with journaling. So
Yeah.
to draw a picture.
So
And
you've learned a lot, and this is it. It's part of your journey now. And then, you get to the end of that after seven months, to be fair, of you putting the effort into this.
yeah, on the rest.
Hardest thing you've ever done. And as a result, you're like, okay, so that thing I was going to do, that's not lighting me up, but actually this has lit a fire in me, and I want to build something on this. So I'm going to create space to do something else. And that's, I guess, what we're saying today is that, it's okay to change sometimes. It's okay. It's okay to pivot.
And
It's
it's
okay.
okay to have a twitchy bum, because if it scares you, I always say, don't I, if it makes you pee glitter and shit yourself at the same time, it's definitely the right thing to do.
It's definitely the right thing to do. And I know I'm in exactly the same situation. You said to me, oh my God, Nerissa, you've got the patience of a saint, on Friday. And I was like, do I? And I didn't really give it a second thought. But then I think back to all my years of coaching entry-level sales reps, and I needed the patience of a saint. Sorry if any of you are listening, but you probably would actually know this, right? You know damn well I had to be really patient with you. But it's true. I had to be patient. You can't lose your shit with people. You've got to be patient. You've got to kind of work to that person's needs and pace. And that made me think quite a lot when you said that, because she's waving that bloody squirrel tail at me now, trying to put me off. Trying to put me off.
Oh, we know. I
Yeah.
just realised I'd pulled it and it had gone all fuzzy. I was just showing you. Sorry, carry on. But
See, this is Nikki when she gets a bit like bored, she starts doing stuff. It's funny. But
not
no,
bored.
it's okay though, isn't it? It's okay to like then reevaluate and go, ooh, hang on a minute. Okay, so I didn't realize that actually that is one of my strengths, and I want to pull that into doing something, And for me, like, I mean, okay, like your retreat a couple of weeks ago, did a double arrow break, didn't I?
You did.
Did a double arrow break.
You want to share about that?
Um, to an extent.
Yeah, obviously.
There's a lot going on. There's a lot going on. Let's just put it that way. A lot that isn't very easy right now. And I've done arrow breaks before and put on there my limiting beliefs, really scratch the surface on these, fears and things that you think are holding you back. But until you get to a point where you really are faced with an ultimatum or something, is a decision that you need to make in your life. If you get an opportunity to do an arrow break to smash through the fear of actually going through and doing that stuff, then it is so powerful. And I wrote so much on these, and I did a double arrow break, so 2 arrows. And I remember looking at Nikki, and she's looking at me, and she's got the board, and I'm like leaning into it, and it starts to press into my throat, and I was just like, "Oh shit, this is hard." And I looked at you, and you said to me, right, which was like a red rag to a bull. You said to me, "You can do them one at a time if you want, Nerissa."
Which I knew would make you go, fuck off.
That's exactly. And I was like, I don't fucking think so. Let's do it. Boof. And I smashed through these arrows. And I think, like what I'm saying to you is don't be me where you're trying to suppress what's really going on, but bloody let it out. Because I think at the point that you do that and you smash through the biggest things that are holding you back, you learn about how you can help people, how you're helping your previous self, and how you can move forward. And Nikki's got a hand on her heart now going, oh, she's going to cry on me. I'm going to cry. Oh, oh,
No, because we've worked together. Oh, I'm going to get emotional.
no.
We've worked together for like first as client, like you were my client at first, and I've seen the whole journey, and then we became friends, and then best friends, and then business partners, and like I just love you so much. But I've seen the struggles and the pushing down of stuff, and you just cracking on through things and not putting yourself first until you couldn't anymore. And it was that weekend with all the girls on the retreat. We were all each other's teachers. Whoever was supposed to be there that weekend was supposed to be there, because the conversations that were had for us all were life-changing. And the love that was shared and the support was like nothing else. And I pride myself on creating safe spaces, but I had space held for me as well. And it's normally me doing all of the space holding. I'm open to receiving that now, whereas at one time I would never have. But because it was such an intimate group as well. But you've just said something then, don't be me. Don't be me, where you push it all down and you don't let, and that everything you've just said then is about change.
It is, yeah.
You've got to get to that point where you just know that change is the only way, and it does give you a
Yeah.
twitchy bum.
You've got to get to the point where you go, am I going to continue like this? Or am I going to change it and make things better? And that, some people call it rock bottom, I suppose. And it can be, I guess, but it's what you do and coming out the other side. And that weekend, that changed everything for me. So Nikki's had a complete pivot moment on a TEDx, but the weekend before that, I've had a complete pivot moment because I've realized, yeah, I can teach people how to sell. I've got years of experience of teaching people how to sell, but that's not changing the previous life that I've had. Actually, what I want to do is help women to stand in their power, help women to reclaim their fierceness, help them to actually rise from the ashes and go, fuck this, I'm not going to do this anymore. And I'm going to change things, and, not be walked all over if they're working in a corporate role, not feel like they need to be quiet around the boardroom because of fear of what people are going to say, not feel like they're bitter and twisted because they're keeping the whole team afloat and nobody's fucking recognizing them for it and they're just getting really resentful over it. It's those people that I want to help. Those people. And that is the previous version of me. The person that spoke up, but then got shot down for it. The person that tried to rebel and wasn't liked for it, And it is about how you can stand up for yourself better as a woman in this world so that you don't get walked all over, you don't people please, and you're not constantly saying yes to things that you don't want to do. And Nikki is amazing at the spiritual side of things. And I'm amazing at the kick ass, stand in your power. This is a process and you're going to come out of it fucking on fire as Cleopatra. You know, this is it. And this is why we work so well together, isn't it, Nick?
Yeah.
She's sitting there going, oh,
Just the passion and everything like you're saying there, when it gets to a certain point, doesn't it? And I think we've both had it in the last sort of 2 weeks where we've gone, fuck, like it's bigger. It's so much bigger, even to the point where we've pressed pause on the Healing Academy. We're having a complete rebrand and
yeah,
restructure, and we don't even know what it's going to look like yet.
we don't. We don't, but it's not going to look as it looks now. So this is our official announcement. The Healing Academy's on pause, but oh my God, watch this space because whatever that's going to be, it's going to be fucking amazing. It's going to be epic, isn't it?
Yeah, fucking hell. And I just think sometimes you've like exactly what you've said, we have to, and it sounds dead cheesy, doesn't it? We grow through what we go through. And even though things feel shit, and I've said this loads of times, we've got to go through the stuff so that we can help other people in the future. It's past versions of ourselves, like what you said before, that we want to help. So, sharing the vulnerable parts of what's happened to us, and in the words of the amazing Danny Wallace, we share from the scar, not the wound. So there's parts that we're not ready to share yet because we're just healing from the things that have happened to us. But fuck me, the fire that is there, we've both helped each other step over. Your version, I've had you; my version, you've had me.
Yeah,
Um, and something massive is gonna happen. But what I think what we're both trying to say is it's okay if things are scary. And it's okay if you don't know what's on the other side, but all you need to know is that if you can't stay where you are, sometimes you just need to trust and take that next step.
yeah,
And if you need any support with anything, we're here. You can reach out to us. If we're not the ones to help, we'll signpost you. We know enough people to help with potentially all of the things, don't we? We've got a
we
massive
do. Yeah,
support network. And this is, my heart just feels so big right now. It's like literally full. I'm gonna cry.
it is. Both our hearts are so full, and it's so true. If you're sitting there listening to this and there's something in your life that you know needs to change, but you're scared, then we get that. I completely get that. And it's about finding someone that can help you through that. And I think Nikki and I are ready to outreach our hands to help the previous versions of ourselves to step over that fear and to make the changes and to do the things that you are terrified of doing, but you know at some point you have to do. And you're watching that clock tick by year after year after year. And if nothing changes, nothing changes. So, yeah, we're
It's
ready.
all of that though, isn't it? And it's the different past versions of you where you're like, I get it, I know what that feels like. But the awareness, so for me, it's the raising the awareness that we are all supposed to be so fucking different. And that, especially as little people, there's only one you. How amazing are you that there's only one you in this massive world? And I say this to all of us, to the inner child within us all, for whoever never got told that they were enough. We are, and we're supposed to be who we are, whatever that is, just squirrel, whatever you want to be,
Whatever it is.
Cleopatra.
And quite often it is that inner child where been made to feel as a child that you're never enough. And that's often why we then go above and beyond to try and please people. And, I know that all those years working in corporate, I went above and beyond, above and beyond, above and beyond, and at times was not recognised for it. At times I really was recognised for it, don't get me wrong, but then you come across people that don't get you, and then suddenly your self-esteem takes a blow, and you're not getting recognised for all these efforts. It doesn't matter how hard you try, they don't recognise you, but you haven't got the guts to like call them out on it or to phrase it in the right way or to stand up for yourself. And then what do you do? Well, you burn yourself out and you get chronic illnesses, and it's just not, we cannot continue as women to play up to society in that way. We've got to learn to stand up for ourselves. And I am here for that. I am here for that right now. This is where we're going.
Oh, fist pumping the heart there, Norris.
I know, but I smashed into my crystal, so it sort of hurt my knuckle.
Don't smash your angel wing. So, slightly pivoting. Do you want to share what's happening on Friday or not?
Oh shit.
Or not
Yeah,
yet?
I'll share what's happening on Friday, Nick. Yeah, it's your birthday.
Oh,
I'm coming up and we're gonna go out for lunch. There you go.
yeah.
That's what's happening Friday.
And what am I doing on Friday?
You're gonna have lunch with me after having a tattoo.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Of a squirrel. I'm getting a squirrel tattoo on Friday, so I'm dead excited to watch this space. I'm going to Fallen Angel in Lark Lane in Liverpool. Massive shout out to my favourite tattoo parlour on the planet.
So yeah, Nikki is no stranger to the odd tattoo, I would say. She might have a couple. I don't think you can even count how many you've got, can you really? Because they're all
Oh,
sort of merged into one.
I know.
So
How
there won't be any
many
Nikki left.
like different ones is on that arm?
So I come from a group of friends that don't have any tattoos. There isn't one between us in where I live. I've got friends outside of where I live that have,
They don't really
obviously.
wear crystals either, do they? Or do
Um,
they?
I suppose I don't really know. I don't suppose I do really. But yeah, so my arrow break was so significant that I feel that I need to get a tattoo on Friday. And I'm putting this out there on the podcast, right? And the next time we do a podcast, it'll be, did Nerissa get the tattoo? And I've got it here right in front of me, and I've
Don't
designed
show
it
it, don't show it.
myself.
Are you going to show it?
There you go. I've designed it myself of an arrow with a bit of Egyptian, a bit of moon, and a bit of affirmation on there. Let's put it that way.
It's
So,
so unique.
and I've told a couple of my close friends, haven't told my parents. So if you're listening, mum and dad, which you probably won't be, but if you are, maybe I'll signpost them to this episode.
Just before I come and see you.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm still a little bit undecided where. It's going to be around.
Yeah.
But yeah, there we go. And this is part of moving out your comfort zone, isn't it? I'm like a massive advocate for moving out your comfort zone and all of that sort of stuff. So actually, twitchy bum. Yeah, I've got a very twitchy bum over it, showing me a sign that says twitchy bum. I have got an extremely twitchy bum over this. And I've asked my pendulum this morning. Oh yeah, I use pendulums as well. And I was like, it's gonna say no. In my head, I was like, it's gonna say no. It didn't.
What did you ask it? Should I get a tattoo?
Yeah. Didn't say no. And should I get that tattoo? Yes.
Yes, amazing.
So I'm a real oh, what would Nikki call it? Overthinker.
Yeah.
No. And well, I've got a defined head. So if we're looking at human design as a projector, I've got a defined head. So I do overthink quite a lot. So in my head, right, my fight or flight is going, this is permanent. You won't be able to undo it. Are you crazy? What are you thinking?
And the squirrel's got her by the hand skipping down the road going, this is going to be fun.
Once you've had one, you'll want more. But what helps me as well is one of my oldest friends. Shout out to Jackie if you're listening. I've known her since I was 4. She lives miles away from me now. She lives down in Godstone in Surrey. But she's got a 19-year-old daughter who took her to get a tattoo. They got a like matching kind of not exactly the same, but kind of similar tattoos. So I sent her a message last week saying, Jax, I'm going to go and get a tattoo. And she went, since then, I've had a second one. I was like, okay. So it seems that when you hit 49, this is what you do. Because I hit 49 a couple of weeks ago. You go and get some tattoos.
Do
So
you know what? Life's so fucking short though, isn't it? Why, like, this is what I say to you about overthinking. Sometimes it's got to feel right. You're a splenic authority as well. So if you can start paying more attention to that and hearing your answer in the moment and letting that be it, like dropping it. I think what we need to focus on sometimes is the letting go of the thing. So like there's the answer, right? Let it go and then move on instead of going, well, but what if? But it might be, well, let's just hold on a bit more and we could think about it again. What about if we did it? No, put it down. Put it down. It's over.
You are so good at doing that though, and I am not.
I am good at letting go.
You are so good at doing that. Sometimes you don't even remember what you've let go of. It's like, geez, if you let go of it that much, that it's like you don't even remember it.
I'm like, what? When did that happen? Do you remember this? Oh yeah.
Just being waved at goodbye by my 16-year-old who's
Can I
going
just show you
to
this
meet a girl.
before we finish, just very quickly?
What are you going to show us? What's she
So
going to
I've
show us?
got a book called Light is the New Black by Rebecca Campbell. You might have read it, and it's just got little sort of individual quotes on each page, and I love it because every day was it a noodle just fell out the book.
Classy. Save that for later.
Not my noodle. I just pick it up some days and I open it, and I love getting a book that I'm drawn to and I just open it on any page and I'll just read a paragraph and I'll just let it mean what it means. And it's just like another little way of, so this morning,
Are we doing this? Are we doing this? Are we going to do one just for the readers,
well,
for
we
the
will, but I want to
listeners?
show you something first. So
Go
Daisy
on.
has been having a bit of a wobble, as we know. So this morning I picked one for her and it said, let today, move through today with moves like Beyonce or something. And I thought, well, that's really good for her.
Yeah.
Mine said, invest in your soul's growth, right? And it says, your soul is your most valuable asset. You can lose everything in a second, but nobody can take your soul growth away from you. The biggest blessing you can share with the world are your light, your love, and your consciousness. You are here to grow as a soul and help the consciousness of the planet grow in the process. As you expand, so does the universe. For whatever you are investing in your own expansion, you are investing in the expansion of the universe. If you ask me, anything that can bring you closer to your potential, to your spirit, to your true essence is priceless. And it says, how are you being called to invest more in your soul's growth? And I was like, well, fucking blow me down with a feather, because
Wow.
that's just everything that, and I'm not going to share too much yet, but there's something very potentially very big and very new coming in the next probably 24 hours because it's me.
I know this as well. I know about it.
So do you
Yeah.
want me to do one for you? And
I'm gonna say, just flick through it. Let's
tell me when to stop.
stop.
Who are you? Our instant response to this question is usually to list off name, age, sex, occupation, where we were born, where we live, relationship, status, blah, blah, blah. But that's not who we are, not really. So we dig a little deeper and describe who we are based on our personality and things that the world has said about us. I'm a hard worker, I'm a good friend, I'm ambitious, I'm social, I'm creative, I'm a good cook. But that's not who we are or who we really came here to be. There's so much more to us than that. Secret parts that long to be expressed beyond the box that we've been put in to keep ourselves inside. When we peel back the layers over and over again, we are able to find the wisdom and the truth of our being, the essence that we are here to share. This is your magic, your gift to the world. The part of you that's timeless and knows exactly what lights it up. The part of you that's expansive and waiting for you to remember, to discover, to unlock and set it free. And it says, how funny is that? Because the end of my script is like, I wonder, on TEDx was, I wonder what a difference this would make to our world. And it's just that. But it says, standing in front of the mirror, look deeply into your eyes and ask the part of you that knows, who am I? Allow it to answer. What you receive doesn't have to make sense, as the purpose here is to peel back the layers and let your deeper self emerge. Keep repeating this question and response over and over again. And it just says, you might start by saying, I'm a mother, I'm a daughter, I'm a hard worker, I'm a nurturer, I'm fantastic listener, I'm wise, I am love, I am tribal leader, I am a mystic, I'm ready to rise up, I am grace. And it says, be open to being surprised, peel back the layers and let your deepest self emerge.
Wow. Well, that's yeah. There it is. Do you know? And I'm doing that. I am absolutely doing that. Like I put that post out earlier, and I put it out. I had a photo shoot a couple of weeks ago, which was pretty life-changing. Amazing photographer, Joanna Wood. Went to Digbeth, really edgy area of Birmingham, and she bought out me completely in that photo shoot. Ripped jeans, leather jacket, totally me. And everything, couldn't be less corporate if we tried. And I put one of my most powerful photos out this morning with a whole kind of, I can see the pivot coming, I've got clarity and all of that. And now you've just read that.
Wow.
Wow.
Wow. I love it.
And sometimes, let's be fair, it's taken me a long time to get to that. And if you're sitting there listening to this thinking, I ain't got a clue where to start with this, let's just start.
Or just reach out to us and we'll help you start.
Yeah, because we want to help you start. So reach out. Definitely.
Emotional that. That was proper,
She's
like,
gonna cry again.
no, I'm not, but like the whole that, yes. I'm not going to apologize for getting upset because
I'm not asking you to. I'm only like,
no, I don't mean you. I mean, I'm not sorry that it happened, but it's just the power behind everything and the purpose and I know it's gonna sound fucking wanky, like the passion. It feels really, considering if you look back over the last sort of 6, 7 months, like where were you at the beginning of the year? Where are you now? What's
Yeah.
changed? Look at how much you've grown. Take time to reflect.
Yeah.
Give yourself a minute in the garden just to sit without your phone and just think of all the fucking things that have happened in the last 6 months.
And I think, like, if I think back 6 months ago, I was very much focused on what can I do? What are my skills that I can use to help other people and make a living? And that's just not enough. As I said, yeah, I can teach you how to sell, but oh,
Gotta come
that's
from
not
here.
that's not helping the former me. Like I can
No,
teach you how to show up with
I think
confidence. That's what I can do.
you can now because you're
Yeah.
showing up with confidence, but you had to get to this point.
Yes, exactly that.
So you couldn't have done that 6 months ago because you
Nope.
were still in the box.
Yeah.
So
There
it's
is out of the
now,
box.
yeah, it's like the box is open and you're standing out and you're looking at the box going, fuck me. I need to show other people this. Like, are you
Yeah.
in here?
That
Are
was
you
a
in
small
here?
box.
Yeah.
Very restrictive. It's time to shine, time to have fun. Yes. Can't wait. Can't wait for the rest of the year. On
So,
that note,
no,
yeah.
did we just say that at the same time?
Yeah, we did. We do finish each other's sentences. It is a habit that we have.
And we're the same colour.
We're the same colour. Yeah. We didn't discuss the colour we were wearing today at all.
That's
Um,
funny.
we did think about turning up in each other's accents at one point, didn't we?
That's a whole nother episode.
Oh yeah, that's a whole nother episode.
And it'll be a short one, I think. In fact, I think we should do that straight after this.
Oh, you think?
Yeah.
Just put it out.
Yeah. Let's go.
Episode 32A.
You're such a projector.
Hey, you're my fun projector.
Well, you're not, yeah, you know.
Yeah.
Right.
Anyway, so don't forget to follow us on Insta. Keep calm, P glitter. What have you seen?
Look at the shiny thing that I just keep blocking. It's like a mirror behind me. It's just, see it? It's like
No, no.
watch when I move my hand. It's like a line of light.
Oh yeah, little bit, yeah. So as I
Anyway,
was saying,
Carol,
don't forget to follow us on Insta. Keep calm, P glitter. Send us some messages. We'd love to know what you think. And if you're someone out there and this has resonated and it's provoked any thoughts and you want to have a chat, we would love to chat to you. I'm laughing because she's got something again, something across the screen that looks a
open noodle.
bit dodgy, to be honest.
Let's go.
Okay.
See you
See you
soon. Love
soon.
you.
Love you. Bye.